Hi guys, this is a Slashing Dragon, and today I am finally going to present the newest version of OpenArthurianX6. So it's been a lot of work, and how long it has been since I decided to try to work at least a little bit every day to take this project into completion. This is probably from the remaining plan, it's one of the biggest milestones, milestone number 5. So the idea today is to walk through some of the things that we did for this, and yeah, the idea is to put this online so that people can start testing it. I appreciate any testing that you can do on this. Right now, well, it's too early. I mean, there's not like a full game in there, but mainly testing the entire inventory system and the entire combat system, dialogue system. I mean, we already have some interesting parts there, or some interesting subsystems that will later on be filled with content. Um, so yeah, that's the idea. I will just do this walkthrough, checking the changelog on the repository for since the latest version, and yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So here we are, the Law of Virtue, Tales of Britannia. This is powered by OpenArthurianX6 v0.8. So that's like the new version name. And yeah, we have done a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to check the log to remember like the main things that we did since version 0.7. Mostly the inventory system. Let's go and create a new game. This was already working for the previous versions, but well, since there were so many changes in the infrastructure, we gotta test everything again. The dialogue system, similar to the Ultima games, is based on keywords, and you can move with the keyboard, but also using the mouse. Actually, the inventory system is mostly mouse based now. And then combat is turn based, so once the combat starts you take turns to attack your enemies. And yeah, I think all of this was mostly already existing in the previous versions. The new stuff is the inventory system mostly, so mostly happens in this scene. So after the battle takes place, the inventories, so there have been lots of changes, I mean, compared to the previous version. If we check here, the there's a demo for the previous version here, Milestone 4, and inventory was much more simple. I mean, you had like this single thing where there was like a single grid of items that you could carry, and then these slots, but this was not very flexible, completely hard coded, and well, it was completely keyboard based. There's some kind of mouse support here, very buggy. So in the new version, well, we have this much more complete system where we have the containers working with, including scrolling inside each container, different types of containers, and for example, this is like a crate, very simple, without like any graphic. You can drag stuff between the containers. You can put things in your body part slots, and also drop items or use the items inside the containers. So yeah, I mean, also you can also drag stuff from the world and into your characters if they can carry it, that is. For example, I can put this here, you see, or if I have a backpack, in my backpack slot I can just drag into myself and they will go inside the backpack. The items will go inside the backpack. So yeah, I think in general that's it, but I'm going to check. Oh, debug. Yeah, I'm stuck in state 6. Well, that's a bug. That's the kind of stuff that I need to start detecting, but that's weird. I thought that I had fixed it. Seems like I didn't. So yeah, some other stuff. Let's see. For example, there are some other containers like this bag, so we can check the bag and put stuff into it. That's part of the milestone check plan. For some reason this is stuck in state 6. Oh, there's like a double state there. Yeah, I'm going to fix that before releasing the version. So yeah, well, in previous milestones had the entire subsystem of using items from the world, using keys. Some of that stuff had to be adapted to the new inventory model, like using keys, for example, here. Yeah. So let's go to this list first and see what I have missed. As I say, we have a new system of inventory window, including an item transferring mode. You can, if you have several party members, well, you can click your party member and get the inventory from that party member. Item containers, barrels, heavily refactored stuff, containers with an initial content. So for example, that box that was down there, you can, in the map, when you define the map, you can define the initial contents. So let's check that, how that works in here in tile, which is our tile editor, map editor, sorry. You can select the item, this is the barrel, and inside the barrel you can put some put the contents. And I think there's a way to edit this that is more like friendly, but I don't see it. Okay, here it is. So yeah, because this is like the best way that I found to define stuff inside tile, because you can have like list of stuff, and even if you could, well, we have the ability to define a quantity for the item. So for this barrel, we are defining that it's going to have a fish and 20 iron bolts, and that's automatically loaded here inside the game. That's one thing. Open containers from inside another container. Say for example here, if I have a bag, I can put the bag inside here and then open it. See the contents here. There was an old inventory mode which I have been phasing out. Scrolling, well, more refactors. Using the ammunition, so basically, well, you see I have an bow here, and I have 45 bolts. Well, in this case, this is actually a crossbow, which I haven't updated the image for, but here we are using the ammunition, so you can have your ammunition in the backpack, or no, you cannot have it in the backpack. You need to have it, for example, I can equip my bow here and then put the ammunition in the left hand, or I can also put it, I think, in this slot. I think that's it. And then it's going to be spent when I attack using it. Double click to use item. So yeah, that was another big stuff that we added. I can double click here to use this item, for example, when I'm on inventory mode. Well, when they are inside my inventory. There I used that potion, and I actually thought that it was also going to work in here, like inside the world. Yeah, there's something also not working very well there. That includes, for example, using these musical instruments, which is something that I think that itself was part of a different milestone, but it requires some changes to make it work in here. Alright, remove spent items from the container inventory. This is all like part of making sure that the inventory is work completely well. What else? Dropping items from inventory into the world. So basically being able to do stuff like this, including validating that you can do it. I mean, if you can reach that, you can reach that place. More refactors. Prevent adding item containers inside themselves. So yeah, this is so that, for example, if I have this backpack here and then I have a barrel inside the backpack, I should not be able to put the backpack inside the barrel, because that will create like a loop there that is not good, and that will make things not work well. Drag items from world into containers. So yeah, this is basically, if I have this container here, I can put this inside that container, and that this is the window for that container in this case. Making sure that mouse movement still worked. So this is here. I think the problem that is happening is when I open multiple inventory windows, it's stuck in. Yeah, that's it. That's easy to fix. Well, what else? Same for dragging stuff into people, so it's added to their inventory. Being able to use and look from the inventory using the keyboard. So if I want to look at this book, I just select it and press L. Or if I want to examine this item, the same. Well, oh, okay, so this background, it's actually from another project. I borrowed it. Not sure if I'm able to use it, not sure if I'm going to replace it with something. It's great, of course. This is from the Nubie project, which is an engine to run Ultima 6 in modern operating systems. This is the style of container that we want, but it's not, yeah, I'm not sure if we can use it. I think that the license for it is GPL, so we might have to pick something else. I'm still not sure about that. Related to that, also, I also changed the kind of, they are not paper dolls, because we are not changing the appearance of this icon based on the equipment. But yeah, I think after looking for a bit on what kind of artwork to use for this, replacing this that we had, I think it makes sense to use this. They are also made by Densi. They are made for the Dungeon Crawl game, and I believe, well, they continue or keep the style of Densi's work, which is also the rest of the tile set. So I believe we'll stick with this maybe. For this initial scenario, but of course anyone can use any other graphic if they want in their games afterwards. But I think it looks good. It fits like the game. Remove items. Add solid items. So this is, for example, if I drop this barrel here, then it's solid into the world. I cannot walk through it. That affects pathfinding and lots of other stuff. Alright, also changes so that serialization continues working, so you could save the game and then restore. There were some tweaks to be done there. Adding the bag, had to do some simple pixel art for it and for the backpack, because Densi had some items for that. I mean, for this backpack and for the bag that is inside here, but it was much flatter, so I had to do some tweaks and add some shadow into it. I think that's it. Also added the title screen, and in order to add that, had to do some changes around how the scene of the game is organized. And so yeah, you can always create a new game or continue. Did this at this point, this is all placeholders of course, but did it like this at this point so that that to help with testing, right? So that people can restart, create new games, and don't have to stick to their save games like in previous versions. So I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and fix those some bugs that appeared and release a new version with a complete changelog. So if you can test, if you can help me testing the game, I appreciate it. And this brings us much closer to completing the game. The following milestones are very simple compared to this one. Um, this one is mostly being able to examine the world, getting items from the world, but that's almost done there. This one is party management, being able to have party members live and join the party, and milking cows, but very simple again. Milestone 8, some combat. Alright, this one has some like NPC scheduling, not that simple. This one is, well, yeah, we are getting into the territory of not so simple stuff. This one is loading other max segments seamlessly, and also doing some changes on time. We already have some time management, but this one I believe we are going to include uh, more relevant gameplay implications of time. And this one is like having corpses, having the enemies drop courses and then being able to examine them, but we have a lot of infrastructure there already. So yeah, I'm glad to be finally able to almost get this done. And again, if you can help, that will be great. And if not, well, you can just play the game and let me know your comments. That's also helpful. So I will see you around.